Oh, this ain't looking good. You'd think on a perfectly clear day we'd have good reception here. Doesn't look like this is going to work out here, Patriots. I got really bad KBPSs, whatever that means. It's February 13th, 2024. Happy birthday, my brother Rocky. Happy birthday, bud. All right. Yeah, it's a chilly day. I woke up to a couple inches of snow this morning. We're just gonna have to see what happens here with the reception. Hi, silly for him. Hello, Julie Jordan. Hey, Patriot. Pathfinder Patriot. Hello, how are you? Hi, Annette Park. Today's Tuesday. This is day 1133 of the Joe Biden debacle. And we just got horrible network here, man. So let's try somewhere else here. We'll try this. Let me know if it's buffering or not there, Patriots. Okay, it's looking good. We'll just go with it, man. The numbers say it should be terrible right now, but if it's going, we'll go with it here. We're going to cover J6 news updates and chat. We're going to be covering Freedom Corner Vigil number 561 here. And yesterday was a day they had the canopy set up, but it wasn't really raining that hard down there. And first off, we had Tammy telling us on the microphone about the Pollocks have made it to the C3A pod. That is Joseph Hutchinson and Jonathan Pollock have made it into the C3A pod. All right, no buffer at all. Good, man. Hallelujah. Amen. God's looking after us here. So that was good news that those two guys are in the C3A pod. It's a family from Florida that stood up for us on January 6th at the Capitol. And they have been picked up, I believe they said January 6th, 2024. So on the anniversary, they let them, those horrible, horrible people, those dangerous patriots, walk freely among us for 3 years, and then they finally picked them up. So there's FJB's DOJ for you, man. Making sure we're all safe and sound. Taylor John Atakis was the first phone call we got last night. And he said that they were all on lockdown when he initially called last night because they got the 3 new guys in the pod. It was Hutchinson, Jonathan Pollock, and another guy, plus Jake Lang. So now there's some type of an internal issue going on with Jake Lang there. I don't want to even try to get into that because, man, it isn't my place to do so. I can understand how there would be troubles being wrongly incarcerated with 30 other guys, you know. I'm sure there's internal issues there. For some reason, Jake Lang is not meshing with the other guys, and it's a long history there, and we'll just not get into it here. Just know that there are troubles in that prison, man. Troubles in that prison. I do believe that Isaac Thomas got out also on release before his trial for similar reasons. So we'll see what's going on there, and all we get is what's reported to us. So Just take it one day at a time, Patriots. There's things that go on inside the jail that we don't need to know about, and is up to these guys to work out when they're in there together there. But Taylor is relatively new to the pod there, and he just said this Jake causes friction when he's there. There's a lot of things that happen in there, man. Okay, I wanted to talk about this for sure. Thank you, Carol. This is an issue that happened with Oreo and First Responder and Big D. After they left the Take Our Border Back convoy, they went down to the border. And YouTube just wiped out Oreo's channel, First Responders channel, and it looks like Big D on Master Grifter channel took down all his videos so that he didn't lose them or something. This article is horrible, man. It is horribly slanted towards, it's saying that, all right, I don't want, it's saying that they're hunting migrants. Live streamers made money hunting migrants, okay? And then it goes on to say that these live streamers went down looking for these camps, that they were harassing migrants and people that worked at the camps while they were asking for money from their viewers on their live streams, which is normal. This is what everybody does with a live stream, right? But it just made it sound like they were hunting them, all right? There was never anything about guns in there. There was never anything about them, taking custody of a migrant or anything. It was a horribly slanted article making Big D and Oreo and Joe looking as bad as you could possibly make them look, when actually those three guys are patriots looking after the country, giving us the info on what's going on down at the border there. So this is the world we live in, man. This is the world we live in. It's unbelievable. Okay, Harbor Watch, big lies. The author of that article actually lives in Ireland. He's not exactly in the thick of the situation. And neither is any American, because the mainstream is not reporting on it. So, Sylvia shared that with me earlier today. And it was shocking. It's shocking. But nothing more shocking than everything else that's going on in this country, where the government's allowed to lie to you and mainstream media has no accountability whatsoever for reporting the truth. And we need live streamers to show us what's going on. So what a smear article that was. Absolutely horrendous, man. Maybe you can, I don't know how you even retaliate against something like that. Call Wired magazine and tell them you're never going to read their article again. I've never read their articles in the first place, so I can't say that. Yeah, they could sue the publication for slander. All right, and then we're going into courts, and we know how the courts are all operating now. I mean, it just seems like there is no justice for that at all. The best course of action is to ignore it and avoid it. I don't know, man. Oh, no, Carol. And then Joe lost his mother-in-law last night. I know he went down to Mexico. Oh, man, his mother-in-law died. That's horrible. So here's where we are, Patriots. I mean, it's depressing. It is depressing, but we continue to stand. We continue to fight. God wins in the end. We know we're on the side of truth, and we'll just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. It's hard to just plot out what we're going to be doing for the next year, and it's literally one day at a time, or you will go insane. That's for sure. So our prayers for the live streamers that are out there showing us the truth, man. They're laying it on the line and taking risks, you know. We'll see what happens with this. Who knows, man? Who knows? Taylor Jonatakis was on the phone, and 2 nights ago he mentioned this case called Erie versus Tompkins, which is in the Black's Law Dictionary as a landmark case on certain things. And he got into it last night. I was kind of actually glad to hear he was going to do this. And Erie versus Tompkins is a Supreme Court case where you have to sue somebody in the area where the encounter took place, where what you're doing, what you're suing for, if it happened in a certain area, you have to sue there because that's jurisdiction with the court cases, with the courts. So that might explain why all these cases get heard in D.C., but when the way that these courts are being run down there, it is not a jury of your peers. I guess you could do a bench trial and just have a judge sit there and listen to everything, but I don't really know. I don't know. This stuff is all very bewildering to me, man. So, and then it shows some of the differences between common law and statutory law. And then also, once you're into the compliance game with licenses and stuff, that is pretty much your consent. You're giving your consent once you apply for a license. When you get a marriage license, if you want to split up with that wife, you have to get the state involved in the split up, and that's how they do this. And Taylor was mentioning that the Amish don't go get driver's licenses, so they don't have to play to that game. And I don't know. This is all very just confusing to me. It has been all my life. I've been trying to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how everything works, but man, it is just mind-numbing, mind-numbing. Okay, Sylvia's got some locations on these guys. All three are on Rumble. Big D, there's his channel. Master Grifter, Oreo is on Rumble, and Taco Joe is on Rumble. So if we can't keep tabs on these guys through Rumble, that would be what we should do to show support for these guys. And man, these three especially have done outstanding work with live streaming and stuff. So Taylor's saying that there's this thing called equitable remedies in order to get out of contracts. So, I mean, been hearing about this all my life. I know, like, Steve Jobs, the guy that owned the computer company, he never got a driver's license. He never had a license plate on his car. He never got a ticket for that. So they must know something. This also might explain why all these, like, elite people that we keep hearing about don't take, when they get married, the wife doesn't take their name. Because possibly they're not even really getting married, you know? They're just telling us that this is the guy's wife. So there's something to this. We're getting bamboozled, people, no doubt. The next phone call last night at Freedom Corner was Chris Quaglin, and he was just talking about how the Department of Corrections breaks all of the Department of Corrections rules. They don't listen to their own rules. They don't file their paperwork on time. They don't go by the normal procedure in their hearings that they have. And it's just a joke. You know, they make rules. We're supposed to jump through all these hoops and follow these rules. And then they bamboozle us with, oh, you need a license, so we go get a license. And they don't even do it themselves. So the whole thing is a joke, man. The whole thing is a joke. Chris Quaglin is on restriction for, he can't figure out. It's 21 days, but now it's 32 days. Now it's 34 days. He's trying to figure it all out. And since they don't listen to their own rules, there is no way to figure it all out there. What a mess. What a freaking mess. So he's restricted on his commissary, apparently. And but not the phone calls, because he called us last night. And he said there is no action on these grievances or the keep away orders. Pod had keep away orders with Jake Lang, but they brought Jake Lang back into the C3A pod anyway. So whatever, it's hard to figure out what's going on down there. Hard to figure it out. It's maddening. It's maddening, and it shouldn't be happening. I mean, we should be law and order here, and it should be simple, you know? Like, we got, what, 6 million laws on the books in America here? How does anybody know what is illegal and what's not illegal and what's procedure and that? Okay, then we got a call from Curtis Tate, got on the line, and he wanted to clarify the other night that he said something about organizations when you donate your money to try, when you want to get money to the inmates and the J6ers in the jail there. There's multiple different ways, but there are some organizations, and it's the one that Jake Lang's associated with, that you don't get, they're taking money off the top to run their organization so that they can have an organization to get money to the J6ers and you know, fund their commissary. So, and I'm not sure what the name of that organization is. So the money goes directly to the J6ers, and that's what Curtis wanted to clarify, that there are good organizations that do help the J6ers, that don't skim off the top a large percentage. Like when you're on YouTube and you do one of them chat money donations to somebody doing a live stream, YouTube takes 30-40% right off the top of that. So you're giving some guy $10, but he's only getting 6 or 7 because YouTube is making the money. I mean, it's everywhere, and you got to watch out and make sure that if that's important to you, you got to make sure you know these rules and stuff. And here is another subset legal system of YouTube. You know, you got to follow their rules. They take a cut here. Just like everything else. Just everything else. It's all got rules. All right, I did read this article right before. New J6 footage raises more questions about the pipe bombs here. Bomb-sniffing dog misses the DNC pipe bomb just a few feet away. So, sounds like it was not really a pipe bomb. So, what was a fake pipe bomb doing in the bushes right where they brought Kamala Harris into the building there that day, okay? Freaky, funny stuff going on, man. A bomb-sniffing dog walked right past that bomb and didn't hit on it. That's what this article is about. Gateway Pundit, man. There's a couple of really good articles in Gateway Pundit again today. So Curtis Tate then, after he clarified about that, you know, about organizations, that there are some good ones out there, he introduced us to Joseph Hutchinson and Jonathan Pollock. And Joseph got on the phone. He's a new J6er there from Florida. Says, I'm just a country boy, you know. I'm just a guy. I live in Florida. I've been working on ranches, do mechanic work. He's just a regular blue-collar guy making a living. Okay, here's one good organization here. Thank you, Deb. The American Patriot Relief.org. That's a great organization right there. They're helping the J6ers get their commissary. Joseph Hutchinson is a 27-year-old young guy. He's not married, from Florida. He's into mechanics. He's done worked at a gun shop for a long time, so he's probably a big Second Amendment guy. And it was just really good to hear him not be totally dejected by this whole thing, just ready to take whatever happens. He says, God is with me. God has this. He was saying about how he's just reading through Isaiah and that how reprehensible wickedness is to the Lord, and that he knows that he's just got to stand and stay true to God, and that whatever happens will happen, and we will be rewarded for that. Our reward is in heaven. Our treasure is in heaven. So he's going to go to trial. He's not going to take a plea deal, he says. He's going to go pro se. He's going to represent himself. And good. I hope this is the way to do it. A lot of other guys did that and There's been all kinds of crookedness exposed in the courthouses. And then I guess it's his cousin. Jonathan Pollock is his cousin, I believe. He's a new Sixer. He got on the phone and just chatted for the remaining time of that phone call. Got to know them. They're definitely God-centered people, good patriots. Stood up when they saw evidence of a fraud election, a rigged election in 2022. And we're praying for these guys, man. We're praying for them. We want justice. We want an investigation of that election. We want a real investigation of J6, and we can obviously see that we have our entire Congress is compromised. They haven't lifted a finger in over 3 years about any of these issues here. And they have all the power in the world to do it. We elect them to represent us, to do these things, and they do not do these things, man. Apparently the Senate just passed. They voted on that Ukraine aid bill. So I'm not sure if I think it passed the Senate. I don't know why it went to the Senate. I don't know. I don't get it, man. It starts in the House, then goes to the Senate, but this one starts in the Senate, goes to the House. Don't know. I can't figure it out. And it hurts my brain to think about it. Okay, then we got Jeff Sable for the end of the night phone call. We sang the national anthem with him. We had a good crowd of Patriots at Freedom Corner, braving the weather. Just another night in a row, 561 nights in a row now. The opposition is nowhere. They don't show up anymore. I guess they realize how totally ineffective they are because it hasn't stopped us one bit. And they just go out there, scream like lunatics, and get ignored. Okay, so Senate passes $95 billion package with Ukraine, no border funding. 22 grand old parties who voted to put us last. All right, so does that mean that it passed now? That's what I'm confused on. Last night, Sable was saying that the aid got voted down. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And, you got your whole life, you got everything that we're all worried about, and then this is what we're supposed to keep up on. These clowns in D.C., it's maddening. It is totally maddening. So, and I did hear that there are calls for Mitch McConnell to step down. Who was it? Rand Paul, I think, said, Mitch, you should step down. You're past your expiration date there, Dude's glitching out, going into stupors behind the podium while he's talking his stuff. I mean, it's time to go, Mitch. It's time to get these people out of jail. Did you see the condition of Dianne Feinstein before she finally died? They didn't let her stop working. That party that she belongs to made her stay in there till just about her whole face fell off, It's horrible. It's horrible. Get these people out of office. Proof that these elections are rigged. Then Jeff Sable was also talking about the NATO alliances. I mean, he gets into all kinds of stuff. Then he mentioned a book by David Schultz that he said was a really good read. It's a book called How to Get Into the Real Ballgame of Politics Where You Live to Help Donald J. Trump to Make America Great Again. It was a lot. I had to back up like 3 times to get that whole title in there for you guys. And then I found a link and put it in my chat last night. That was really cool. I succeeded in finding a link, silly. Deb. It was a good sense of accomplishment to be able to do that. Finally. And then Jeff Sable and the girls there at Freedom Corner were talking about Joel Osteen's church shooting, how it took a day and a half to get a report out on this person because they wanted to make sure they got the murderer's pronouns right in the reporting, because apparently we got another mentally ill transgender wielding a gun into a crowd thinking they can just go shoot people, man. Hey, Carol. Yeah, trolls. Troll House cookies for everybody. Hello, Ridgeline. How are you? Lisa McNeely, good to see you all. Mall 87, welcome. Welcome. LA Forgiven, good to see you. In Shadow, how you doing all? All right, so that's it for Freedom Corner. Another night in a row. Way to go, Patriots. Just keep standing. That's what we need to do. We're not going anywhere. We are evidence that there was a rigged election and that J6 was a setup. And we ain't going to stop saying it. I mean, the evidence is out there. Sooner or later, the truth will come to light. We are on the side of truth. So there's an assurance to that. You know, we know that it was the truth. So... all right, and then I got into, Tommy Tatum put a video out, I don't know, a couple days ago, almost a week ago, about a J6er named Hank Munzer. And it was a 1-hour interview that a local TV station up in Montana did. I think he's from Billings, Montana. And so I got into a little Hank Munzer investigation, just getting to know this guy. He's just a local business owner. He drove all the way out to J6. And he's going to represent himself pro se. He apparently had a trial, and I don't know where that led to with him. I got a feeling it probably didn't go well for him. And this was, I think he was in D.C. on the 5th of February or something. So I don't know. Munzer. Muntzer. I'd like to know what happened to him. I'll go figure that out tonight, I think. Man, what do we got? 2 more people from PA arrested. Okay, and then we got just tons of this kind of stuff coming out, man. Secret 2020 Election Day meeting with CISA, Dominion, ES&S, all these people meeting together. All right, now we got this guy running for the House seat in Ohio who says he was a paid undercover fed for the FBI, and they tried to re-recruit him to go to January 6th. A lot of information like this is coming out that mainstream media is just totally ignoring, man. Okay, here's the interview that Tommy just posted this. You can actually go to the... once you see that post on Tommy's channel, you can go to that TV station's channel, and they had several other interviews and newscasts about this Munzer guy. So I don't know. I'm thinking either his case got delayed and he didn't have to be here in early February, or he did get here, and I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, looking for volunteers for the Ohio Freedom Festival. Show our patriotism out in Ohio. And what did I see? Did you see the illegal aliens in Denver are driving around in cars illegally with no driver's licenses and vehicles with no plates? I highly doubt they don't even have insurance. And I highly doubt that that's even illegal, now that I'm learning all this stuff about, our legal system, statutory law, customary law, common law. Okay, here's another Gateway Pundit article. Thanks, silly. Atlantic City ballot stuffer worked for the feds. There we go again. But that election was the most secure election in history. That's what they're telling us over and over and over again for over 3 years now. This is hogwash, America, but nobody's standing up. There's 300 patriots that have been to Freedom Corner, That's all. That's all that's standing up about it. Right, Tommy's not the interviewer. Yeah, we were just talking about Oreo and first responder earlier today, and Big D got sucked into that too. So, all right, Massachusetts is giving them driver's license. Well, guess what? Voting is right around the corner then for all these illegals then. So that our 2024 election is already rigged. It's rigged. It's done. Water under the bridge. It's been rigged already. The voters are here. They just got to get them to the poll, get a ballot to them so that they can mail it in. I mean, that's what's going to happen here. The rig is in already, but nobody knows. Nobody knows about it yet. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's about all I got for today, Patriots. Some days are better than others. I wish I could be down at the courthouse doing more stuff down there, but, you know, this is what they do. They take us out one by one. All right, Harbor Watch says, Kentucky is passing a law. You have to be an American citizen to vote. This is what we have come to. Yeah, do we even need to make a law about that? It just seems outrageous. Like the whole country is under some kind of a spell, is what it really would explain everything. And there's stuff about that coming out too, about these rock stars and stuff, and these movie scenes that they made, and they brought in real witches, and but you go talking about witchcraft to people, and they go, "Oh, you're nuts. That's cartoon stuff." An illegal in Western Pennsylvania got arrested recording in a handicapped bathroom stall for months where he worked. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. So Harbor Watch, you're in Kentucky then. It's to counteract our Democrat governor. But how can a Democrat governor have that much power to say that non-citizens can vote? You know, where does it say a non-citizen can vote? Wouldn't you have to make a law that the non-citizens can vote instead of making a law that you must be a citizen to vote? It seems like backwards. It seems backwards. All right, LA, thanks for dropping in. Thank you. Yeah, the world has gone mad. And that's what it says is going to happen, you know? Yeah. Carol Burton says, I want to meet the Simpsons writers, because isn't it odd how all this stuff was predicted on The Simpsons? Yeah, the pandemic was a kind of a test run where they were flexing their muscles to see what they could get away with, how compliant the people were going to be. It's a trip, man, watching all this happen. Hi, Amber Rose. Yep, I'm still on YouTube. Somehow miraculously, I believe. Because I don't, filter what I'm talking about, but I'd only got a couple hundred subs, 1,000 subs. Gonna fall sometime or another. Yep, here's a link to my P.O. box. Definitely appreciate any donations that you can do. That would allow me to do more things, for sure. Yeah, Ridgeline, the old movie, Wag the Dog. I mean, there it is, right in your face, what they do. That movie's over 10 years old now. And these are things that, as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, yep, that's been happening for 30 years already. When that movie came out. All right, Patriots, I'm going to wind it up here. Glory, hallelujah. The broadcast went well because the numbers look like horrible here. Like we should have been glitching the whole time, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. So, all right, Patriots, I'll see you up there at Freedom Corner in the chat tonight. Let's pray for the people standing on that corner. Let's pray for our J6ers in prison, dealing with all the internal stuff going on, in addition to the psychological torture, in addition to the buffoonery in the courts there, and their loss of freedom. I mean, they are in prison for what they should not be in prison for. Any stretch of the imagination, standing up for your First Amendment rights doesn't land you in prison in America. At least that's the way it used to be. So something's happened to our country, patriots, and we shouting a warning for the rest of the people, but they all are still sleeping, apparently. So God bless you all, patriots. I love you all. This is Jericho, over and out.